All right. So we've been working quite hard to get the data into this component, and we only have one final piece left, which is the ranking. And that's the ranking of the dividends per share in the current year. So let's go ahead and go to our stock view. And inside of the stock view, we have the entire stock list available to us. So what I think we want to do here is we want to create a function that um, gets the ranking for us, and then we use that to pass the ranking down to the dividend list component. And how are we going to get the ranking? Well, in our helpers file, we have a function called sort stocks by dividend yield, and that sorts stocks by dividend yield in the current year. So we can use that to sort these stocks, and then we'll find the current stock in that list and we'll add one to the index. Because if you think about it, we sort the list and then the top dividend yield stock is at index number 0, and then the next one is at index number 1 and 2 and 3, and so on and so forth. So if we have a sorted list like that, and we can find our the currently selected stock in that list, then we can just add one to the index, and that will be the ranking. So let's go ahead and implement that. So let's go to our stock view component, and we'll create a function called get rating, get current year dividend yield rating. So yeah, that's a mouthful, but it's readable. And inside of here, we want to do const sorted equals sort stocks by dividend yield, and we want to import that. So let's go ahead and make sure our imports are looking nice. And then we want to accept the stocks, and we want to sort the stocks by dividend yield. So now our stocks should be sorted according to dividend yield, and we can verify that by doing a console log, and we'll pass the rating in here, or actually we'll call it ranking, so we're being consistent with our naming. And we will make sure to pass our stocks in. We can open our developer console, and we can see that the top stock has 23 in 2020, and the second stock has 20 in 2020. So this is working as expected. Now let's go ahead and for each over this array. So we're going to do sorted for each, and we'll do item or stock current stock. The reason I'm thinking about name here is because we already have a object called stock, and I don't want to name it the same thing, because that'll be confusing and it might lead to some unexpected behaviors. So let's say item here, or stock item, and then let's create a variable called ranking, and then we'll say if stock item ticker equals stock ticker, and we also need to grab the index here, then ranking is going to be equal to index plus 1. And then we'll return out the ranking. So now we should be able to have the correct ranking and passing it down to the dividend. And we'll go to the dividend and we'll say ranking equals ranking. And now in the dividend list, let's accept the ranking as a variable, and we'll plug in the ranking here. And what we need to do here is we want to call the get current year function and make sure we import that as well. Alright, so let's do it manually, get current year. Alright, and let's take a look. So this one is stock number 1 in dividends per share in 2020, which is correct. And then let's check out this one, which is stock number 2. That's also correct. So it looks like this is working as intended. All right. So let's go ahead and just take a look at our dividend lists. And we'll make sure it's getting a little bit large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dividend list and I'm going to create a new component inside here called trends, and I'm going to create a trends.jsx file, and it's just going to be a functional component, and it's going to take this markup right here, and we'll plug that into the trends and return a fragment around that, and we'll import the styles from dividend list from the same styles as the dividend list, because this is a subcomponent of the dividend list. And then we'll grab the get growing trends and get consistent trend, and we'll plug that into the trends. And now we have to move over the imports, and we'll have to fix the path. And let's remove these, and we'll move this over as well. And we'll put the trends in here. And we'll give it the dividends that it needs to operate on, and then we'll accept that in here. And now we have a typo here, we'll call that inconsistent. And now this should work like it did before. Alright, perfect. So I think we'll leave it there and say that the dividend list is pretty close to being finished. We could probably break it up into smaller components, but right now it's small enough that I don't mind. I can easily understand what's going on in the render function. So I'm gonna leave it there for now, and then we are going to be looking at the dividend calculator and the aggregated dividend next. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you there.